be several deep intelligences, maybe at least five. I'm not sure that there's going to be hundreds, but it's probably close to, like, maybe there'll be like 10 or something like that, of which maybe four will be in the US. But yeah, several deep intelligences.
What will these deep intelligences actually be doing? Will it be scientific research or trying to hack each other?
Probably all of the above. I mean, hopefully they will discover new physics, and I think they will definitely going to invent new technologies. Like I think we're quite close to digital superintelligence. It may happen this year, and if it doesn't happen this year, next year for sure. A digital superintelligence defined as smarter than any human at anything.
Well, so how do we direct that to sort of superabundance? We could have robotic labor, we have cheap energy, intelligence on demand. Is that sort of the white pill? Like, where do you sit on the spectrum? And are there tangible things that you would encourage everyone here to be working on to make that white pill actually reality?
I think it most likely will be a good outcome. I guess I'd sort of agree with Jeff Hinton that maybe it's a 10 to 20% chance of annihilation. But look on the bright side, that's 80 to 90% probability of a great outcome. Yeah, I can't emphasize this enough. A rigorous adherence to truth is the most important thing for AI safety, and obviously empathy for humanity and life as we know it.
You're working on closing the input and output gap between humans and
Yeah.
machines. How critical is that to AGI, ASI, and once that link is made, can we not only read but also write?
The Neuralink is not necessary to solve digital superintelligence. That'll happen before Neuralink is at scale. But what Neuralink can effectively do is solve the input-output bandwidth constraints. With a Neuralink interface, you can massively increase your output bandwidth and your input bandwidth. Input being write to you have to do write operations to the brain. We have now five humans who have received the kind of the read
Incredible.
input, where it's reading signals, and you've got people with ALS who really have no, they're tetraplegics, but they can now communicate at similar bandwidth to a human with a fully functioning body and control their computer and phone, which is pretty cool. In the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, where even if somebody's completely blind, we can write directly to the visual cortex, and we've had that working in monkeys. One of our monkeys now has had the visual implant for 3 years. At first, it'll be relatively fairly low resolution, but long term, you would have very high resolution and be able to see in multispectral wavelengths. So you could see an infrared, ultraviolet, radar, like a superpower situation. At some point, the cybernetic implants would not simply be correcting things that went wrong, but augmenting human capabilities dramatically. But digital superintelligence will happen well before that.
I guess one of the limiting reagents to all of your efforts across all of these different domains is access to the smartest possible people. Like, what's going to happen in 5, 10 years, and what should the people in this room do to make sure that they're the ones who are creating instead of maybe below the API line?
Well, they call it the singularity for a reason, because we don't know what's going to happen. In the not that far future, the percentage of intelligence that is human will be quite small. At some point, the collective sum of human intelligence will be less than 1% of all intelligence.
I guess just to end off, where do we go? How do we go from here? I mean,